What's the deal, guys, and welcome back. You already know it's your favorite Tatted Beauty on a Thursday, so you already know what time it is. It's time for the Tatted Beauty podcast, okay? I hope you guys have been enjoying your week thus far. And last week, we took a week off, had to do some, just some refocusing as we all need to do. We all need to refocus and just, get a little recharged, shall we say. So, we are back. Before I start, like, subscribe, share, comment. As always, I love you guys for tuning in each and every week. Here at the Teddy Beauty Podcast, we turn trauma into beauty one fuck up at a time. Okay? So before we get into the topic at hand, you already know we got to get into the current events, basically. There's been a lot going on. I can honestly say that. A lot going on in the world, a lot going on with people personally. So anybody that's battling anything that they feel like they can't get over, you got this. Okay? Seriously. It's not a gimmick. It's no game with that because this world is crazy. Did y'all hear about the pandemic we about to go in? Let's start off with that. Yeah, let's start off there. The government said that if they don't sign or if they don't come to an agreement, basically by October 1st, that they are going to basically do a government lockdown, WIC, um, government checks, which means nobody's going to be getting paid. I hope and pray that they come to some kind of agreement with that because I don't think we can afford right now to go into another pandemic. I don't think we can afford that, but they're going to do it anyway. So I don't think we even really have a choice, to be perfectly honest with you. Like, I really don't. And it's fucked up. It really is. But I just want to take a moment can we take have a moment of silence, shall I say, for Nelson Mandela's granddaughter. She passed away battling cancer. And if you don't know who Nelson Mandela is, then what rock are you living under? Okay, that man was an advocate for every African American walking this earth, okay, amongst so many others in his time, but Nelson Mandela was definitely a pillar to our culture and helped fight a lot of things in Africa, against slaves and, just the battles that they face every day in Africa. And I don't want to get it deep into that because, it's a lot that goes with that, but rest in peace to her. And my condolences to the entire Mandela's family. Um, Krishan Rock, okay. This is a not touchy subject, but it's kind of like it's funny because I think I'm feeling like everybody else is feeling like, are you doing this for show? Um, are you really trying to better yourself? You know what I mean? I only say that because now I'm pretty sure everybody knows that they had their baby. It's a junior. She named him Krishan Jr. Um, and it's just been a lot going on recently. Someone caught her in the supermarket, with the baby's head, um, basically not being secured. And she made a comment saying, well, if you really wanted to see me, win, or if you want to see me be a better person, a better mom, you would have helped me instead of recording me. And I definitely understand where she's coming from with that because I actually had a conversation with somebody about that. And I feel like in the world we live in now, it's sick that that woman would, pull out her phone. That's the first thing that she had to go to. That's kind of corny for me. So I definitely agree with Krishan in that aspect of her saying, you could have definitely, just helped me instead of recording me and blasting me and just having the world basically just like continue to just, they came at her neck. I'm not even gonna lie. But now the drama is her son needs to have a, don't give me the lion, Lord Jesus Christ. He has a hernia. So he has to have hernia surgery. Um, and apparently, Blueface decided to post a picture of his genitals online. Um, I don't know whether it was to come at Krishan's parenting or whatever, but clearly he does not know that that is a form of child pornography because you put it on the internet for the world to see. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if that wasn't your intention, you know what I'm saying? The law says that that is technically, uh, child pornography. So now Krishan is going out online saying that she's pressing charges against Blueface for posting this online and stuff like that. And I just feel like the internet has made it, or yeah, the internet. Yeah, I was right. The internet has made it so comfortable for everybody to just put everything out there that it's just like, how can you be, or how can you um, give backlash to this girl for going online and speaking all of these things? You understand what I'm saying? Because people are like, oh, Krishan next. Like, you can't keep going to the internet. And it's like, bro, that's how she got her stardom. You know what I mean? Like, that's how a lot of people got their stardom, off the internet. So when people go to the internet with their problems or with their business or with the things that they're going through, you can't then say, oh, get off the internet and handle your business, because this is how they always handle their business. Right? Right. All I'm going to say on that is I wish her the best. Parenting is not easy. Um, Dealing with baby fathers are not easy. Okay. I'm a baby mom myself. You know what I'm saying? So we've all been there, and it's just, you just gotta be more patient with her. I understand that she's in the limelight and she chooses to put her life on the forefront, but that doesn't give people the right to just be malicious and just straight up mean, like, because everybody was a first time parent. Period. Okay. Um, these kids are crazy out here. Yeah, moving forward. Multiple arrests were made for juveniles that looted multiple stores in Philadelphia. Now, I don't know. I don't know where this generation is getting this stuff from. I don't know why they just so. I don't know. I don't know. But basically, looting is stealing. So basically, it's a whole group of kids or whatever, and they get together and they just boom rush a store. Nobody's gonna. You can't stop 12 kids at one time stealing everything out the store. You know what I mean? So, I mean, this footage shows them looting the Apple store. You know what I'm saying? The 15 just came out. Cool. You know what I mean? These kids are, the world is getting crazy. You know what I mean? And it's just given purge at this point. It's giving out of control. That's basically what it's giving. And it's like, you can't even say it's the parents. You know what I mean? Because that's the first thing we want to go to is like, well, what are the parents doing at home, or what's this, what's that? And it's like, bro, the internet and everything has become so easy for these kids to access. It's like sometimes the parents don't even know what the hell is going on with their kids, because not for nothing, the parents don't check. So yeah, we can say it's kind of like on the parents too, because we have a lot of these um gadgets out here. You know what I mean? All these different apps and stuff like that, things that you can hide. Kids hide stuff from their parents. I know I hid stuff from my mother and my parents growing up. But now it's way easier to just hide things. So when these kids are acting out and they do things like this, like looting stores, there's always an underlying issue, but who's to say when you're going to figure out what it is? These kids are getting bored. These kids feel like it's, they want more. You know what I mean? So it's like, they see their parents maybe can't afford it, or their parents are struggling. So it's like, I'm going to take it. You know what I mean? And not to say like it's not a revolving door, because it's always been um, situations like this, you know what I mean? Where people are rioting and looting stores and stuff like that. Cool. But it's getting crazy now. Like, they don't even have a reason to do it. They're just doing it just to do it. Like, I've seen them run into Lord and Taylor's and the mall. I just pray for this generation and the generations to come, because a lot of y'all are lost. Yeah. um, y'all remember? Um, I think she was on the Real Housewives, right? Or Basketball Wives. That's what it was. Remember when Drea said that you can delete your wholeness after a while, right? Yeah. I, Me personally, I always tried to figure out like what she meant by that because I'm like, once you a hoe, you a hoe. So how are you gonna delete your wholeness? Okay. And she finally let people know how you can delete your wholeness. Okay. So basically what she said was, it's kind of like, you know, uh a person that has a different life, basically somebody that goes to prison and then they come home and they basically change their life around. It's basically the same thing. Um you can be in a better situation, you can be in a better relationship, and which forces you not to want to be that hoe that you once were. And when she broke it down like that, I'm like, okay, I get that, because it's kind of like the player not wanting to be a player anymore. You know what I'm saying? They finally meet their match and then they want to just settle down. They don't want to be, you know what I mean, this whore. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of understood what she was saying when she said that, but it was just like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying, once a whore, always a whore for me. But I get it. I get it. We all change. We all grow. We all evolve. And I'm here for it. Okay? I am here for it. So anybody that's out there erasing their wholeness, kudos. Okay? For real, for real. Like, I don't know how that worked, but y'all do y'all thing. Okay? Um, Kurt Franklin did this. This blew me. And this just goes to show how far um, a person, or your mother, shall we say, will go to hide a fucking secret, just to save her own ass. Now, Kurt Franklin finally met his father, his biological father, at the age of 53. And the crazy thing before I actually seen it on the Shade Room, I seen a video of it on TikTok. And literally, it was a whole thing where, you know, um, he went through a whole DNA test, behind his mom's back, and he was constantly asking his mother, like, "Mom, is it any possible way that this could be my father?" And she was like, "No, no, 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 no." The results came back, and it was 99.9% probability that this man was his father. And do you know this man lived down the street from his recording studio the whole freaking time? Yeah, wow. Same thing I'm thinking, right? Because I'm like, bro, like, for your moms to hold something back like that from you is just like, what? Like, damn, mom, like, you really, yeah, that was crazy. But I wish him all the best with that, and I'm glad that he was able to find his biological father. It's unfortunate that it happened at the age of 53, because there's so much time wasted and so much time that, you know what I mean, this man could have um, been there. You know what I mean? And he's angry as hell at his mother, and I don't blame him. Like, his mother's still talking about the light is lying, the test is lying, there's no way. Like, DNA don't lie, love. Like, and she's on video recording still saying this. Whew. She taking that to the grave, baby. Okay. Another moment of silence for 702 member, Lamisha. Um, she passed away. Um, 702 member Lamika announces, the passing of Irish, um, member of 702. If you don't know that group, you're too young to be here. Okay. But definitely definitely a group of my time, the 90s. Definitely that. Okay. Yep. But another this right here was just like, wow, why would you even do this? And this, we're just gonna um get to the subject at hand after this. But designer had to register as a sex offender because he decided to masturbate on a plane. Yeah, let's just let that sink in. You couldn't wait. You had to do it on a plane with all these people, all these kids. Yeah, you need to do something, because that's outrageous. That's outrageous. But yeah, now moving right along to the subject at hand, we are getting into, first we did love languages, right? But now we are going to get into anger and frustration languages, okay? Now you may be thinking, what are you talking about? It's a such thing, okay? We all want people to tend to our love languages, what makes us happy, what makes us, you know what I mean, what gets us going. But what about when we're angry? What about when we're upset? What about when we can't control our emotions? You know what I mean? And we're in these relationships. We need for our partners to understand our frustration languages, which can be a multiple of things. You know what I mean? A lot of people have different ways of doing things when they're frustrated. Some people don't talk. Some people talk a lot. Communication is something that they take, and that's just something that they do. Some people need time away from their partner, meaning like going out, or it could be alone time, going to the park by themselves, going to the gym, not speaking at all, just having quiet time, listening to music. It ranges. It just ranges, and I feel like when we do get into relationships or friendships, we kind of neglect those languages. Uh, and why I say that is because we don't want our partner or our friends to feel those ways. So we're constantly trying to seek validation, or we're constantly trying to get reassurance that they're okay, or that they're going to be okay, or we want to fix it right then and there. But sometimes you can't fix it right then and there because that person is not level headed enough to even respond. You understand what I'm saying? And I have got myself in those kind of situations as well, where it's like, I know I should back off. I see that I should back off, but the way that the conversation is in the moment is like, I can't, or other people feel like they can't leave it how it is in that moment. And I know I'm talking to somebody when I say that, because we all get in that mood where it's like, no, I'm not going to let this linger. I'm not going to let this die. And I had a problem with that too. I'm a person that doesn't like to go to sleep angry, because I wake up angry. And not angry in a sense of like a full blown attitude, but I feel some type of way. I like to get things settled, and I like to talk about things before I go to sleep, because I don't like to have that energy in my body and on my mind when I wake up. So I would press the issue of having the conversation right then and there, or attacking whatever we needed to talk about right then and there, because why not? You understand what I'm saying? Like, we're already in the conversation, but I had to understand that my partner or my friend, I had to understand that their anger or frustration languages were maybe not wanting to talk at the time. You know what I mean? Getting up and walking out. And sometimes getting up and walking out is not the right thing to do. Some people say that that's childish, but that's a anger frustration language. That's something that, somebody can't control, because they don't want to disrespect you, you know. And I feel like um that's where, you know uh that's another form of creating boundaries as well, which people don't understand. And I had to understand that too, because uh I used to get told a lot, like, oh, you're a runner, you're a runner. You're running away from your problems. And it wasn't that I was running away from my problems. It was just that I had been toxic in a toxic environment, like all my life, like um, with the yelling and the screaming and the verbal abuse, not physical abuse, because I wasn't abused physically as a child, but uh, mental abuse is and verbal abuse is just as worse. You know what I mean? Because you're stuck in a mental prison of thinking, am I ever going to be good enough for my parent? Am I ever going to be good enough for this family dynamic? And am I ever going to be good enough for myself? Because you are at home, you're hearing these certain conversations, or certain things are getting said to you, and you don't necessarily feel like the best version of yourself. So we get older, and we get in these relationships, and we just feel like what we've learned in our younger years, we can roll them over. You know what I mean? So we feel like, if our partner doesn't want to talk, we have to force them into talking. No, no. That is I figured out that that's like the fastest way to push somebody away. You know what I mean? And a lot of us were raised by narcissistic people. Hey, I didn't want to be the one to say it. Um, but living in the city of Patterson, being from the city of Patterson, I can honestly say a lot of us were raised by narcissistic people who were raised by narcissistic people. And you know what I'm already gonna say. It's it's a cycle. It's a cycle. And if you're not willing to be that strong enough person to break that cycle, you know what I mean? It's just gonna keep spilling over and spilling over. And if you're not willing to have these conversations with the people in your life so that you're able to be the best version of yourself, you're never going to be the best version of yourself. If that makes sense. You know, so having those conversations about, when I'm frustrated, or, what you need from your person or your people when you're frustrated, you know what I mean? Have those conversations, because it's going to make all the difference. You know, a lot of us go to isolation and don't say anything as a frustration language, you know. So we feel like, oh, I'm just going to be quiet until things die over, and then I'm going to talk, which is not a bad thing all the time, but it can be very damaging, only because when you do isolate and just like randomly and don't tell anybody anything, it can come off a little shady in a sense, to some people, but to your real ones, the people that really understand you. And that's why I say you really gotta find your people and um, really get them to see and understand. Like, not get them to see and understand, because it's not for you to force anybody to understand your love languages or any kind of language that you speak, but if they care about you enough, they'll pay attention to that and they'll reverse it, and vice versa. You know what I mean? It can't just be a one-way street. It has to be two ways, because sometimes we get stuck in our ways where it's like we so depressed and we so in our feelings that we don't tend to what our partner is saying. You know what I mean? Because we get so frustrated. You get what I'm saying? But it's like sometimes we just gotta take that step back. No, we don't want to leave our partners alone sometimes. No, you don't want to leave your friends alone sometimes, because a lot of the times when things linger, it leaves room for more, to add more fuel to the fire, in a sense. You know, I've had those ways of thinking too, but it's just like, Alasia, if you really, 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 want to get to a place with this person or these people, even if it's in a job, you know what I'm saying? When you really have to learn how to first communicate through your frustration, get over the frustration quicker, because I'm not gonna lie, I was a kind of a person that not held a grudge, but again, like I said, I didn't like to go to sleep angry, because I wake up angry. And you better believe I'm gonna wake up angry. I'm not gonna say anything. I get very quiet. That's another anger language. People just get very, very quiet, very quiet. And that saying when they say, your people really know you when you get quiet. Those are your people. The people who reach out to you when you get super quiet. You know what I mean? Those are your people. Those are your people. I never understood that quote until maybe like a year ago, 2 years ago, but it speaks volumes to me to this day. And that is something that I take with me on a day-to-day basis. You know, your people will understand you, and your people will reach out, and your silence speaks louder than words sometimes. Um, but that's just having people that understand you. When you don't have people that understand you and everything that comes with you, you do get friction. There's going to be tension. There's going to be miscommunication. There's going to be misunderstandings. There's going to be, oh, well, you're being shady or you're doing this or you're doing that. But at the end of the day, it just takes those conversations, those uncomfortable conversations. And I just feel like now, as a people, as humans, a lot of people have become impatient. Nobody wants to learn people anymore. Nobody wants to learn each other anymore. It's just like, what can you give me? What can you bring to the table? Not what can I add to your table, or, how can I make things better? You know what I mean? I don't really feel like we're living in a world like that. Yes, we have a lot of people who advocate for unity, and we do have a lot of people who, are out here doing the work. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that, but I'm speaking of inner city. We can talk about globally, we can talk about internationally, we can talk about all of that. And there are some amazing people doing what they can do to make sure, that everybody's staying aligned. But who's doing it for the inner city? Who's doing it for the freshman in school who's being bullied, that's going through mental problems? Who's doing it for the seventh grader, who is at home with a verbally abusive parent? You know what I mean? Or a single mom who is struggling to make ends meet, who necessarily can't provide things that they want to provide for them. You know what I mean? Who's advocating for them? The mother who can't really get up and advocate for their kids. Everybody has a frustration and an anger language, and kids do as well. So I'm going to switch gears, and I really am really keen on mental health with children first, because I wish I had the outlet when I was younger for that, even though, I'm not going to say I didn't have the outlet. I did. Anger management was something that was presented to me, but I wasn't open to it. You know what I mean? I wasn't open to it. I didn't feel like I had anger issues, as we all do. But the first thing in um, getting over something is admitting it. So I had to admit that at some point, you know what I mean? But over time, I've developed ways to help me get over being angry. And it didn't work sometimes, because again, other people have other ways of dealing with frustration. Some people don't. Some people's way of dealing with things is attacking it head on. I was in a relationship where it was like she wouldn't even let me chill. She would not let me collect my thoughts. Like literally right after our argument, and it was like, bro, just please let me calm down, or let me go to my mom's house and just let me relax and just let me. And it was just like it turned into, oh, you're cheating. Oh, do you have somebody else? Or why do you have to go by your mom's house and you're just sitting there? And it's like, bro, like I literally need to just clear my head, because I don't want to talk to you this way. I don't want to say anything that I could possibly regret. And I felt like in that specific relationship, I felt like I was kind of forced to talk about things impulsively, which caused me to say things that I necessarily did not want to say, but it was because I was being attacked. So when you're being attacked, naturally, you're going to attack that person back, regardless of what's being said, how you said it, who was being brought up. You know what I mean? And that's something that I try to stand clear of. And if I'm talking to anybody, stand clear of stuff like that. You know, hurting your friends with your words or your partner. You know what I mean? Shit like that really sticks. I tell people all the time, words hurt depending on who they're coming from. Seriously. And that's a real fact. Like a real fact. And I learned that from my dad first. For real, for real. But you already know what that noise mean, okay? It's time for Isn't It Shady, baby? We dust off the shades, literally, okay? Let me put the shades on for them real quick. These are some cute shades. Y'all like my wig? Oh, 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 oh. Let me get it together. Haha, you already know it's time for Isn't It Shady. And we're gonna go off topic a little bit, but this is very shady to me, okay? Isn't it shady that they have been talking about aliens for so long, okay? So long. And they finally like confirmed that there are aliens living among us. They done gave a presentation and everything, like, and nobody give a fuck. Like, nobody cares. Not a soul. Everybody just like, well, all right, whatever. Like, all right, it's the aliens. I kind of knew it was aliens already on this motherfucking planet. Because some of these people, they don't act human. Okay. So I don't know what the government, I don't know what y'all doing, but y'all just dropping too much on us at too fast. And we just like, whatever. Life is life at this point. So if y'all gonna let the aliens free, just let them free. Because they got to be more cool than y'all. No shade but shade. Okay? And that's that on that. For real, for real. Like, I don't, yeah, it got to be another place cooler than Earth. I'm just saying, though. I mean, I love it, but it's like Earth is ghetto. Earth is ghetto. So if y'all got a better planet for us to go to, sign me up. I'm so for real though. Like, this world is just crazy. But let's switch back into gears. Yeah, just learn, your partner, learn your people's frustration languages, because that is a thing. Don't just be like, oh, well, she just in her feelings, I'm gonna just let her. No, because that's really how you lose people. And I feel like that's how I've lost some people, because it was at one point where it wasn't that I was heartless and that I wasn't compassionate. It was just, I felt like people were taking my kindness for weakness. That's the best way I could put it. Taking my kindness for weakness, because I was that person that would answer the phone. I was that person that would, as soon as you call me, you need me, I'm there. You understand what I'm saying? Like 1 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't matter. If you're my friend, if you're my partner, if you're, you know what I mean? If you're somebody that means something to me, close to my heart, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to step. You understand what I'm saying? And it got to a point where it wasn't being reciprocated. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't getting that same in return. You know what I'm saying? And I honestly could say, and I could take accountability for the fact that I wasn't actually reaching out, because I honestly already knew. You can tell. You can tell sometimes um, what friends can handle what and what friends can't. So it was a matter of me not wanting to put my bullshit on my friends, because I knew they probably didn't have the answers for me, because I was the answers for them. And no, it didn't make me upset. Um, but it would make me have certain conversations with my friends, like, well, why don't you say these things to me? Or why do I had to explain to them. And then once I explained it, then they kind of tuned into where I was. And it didn't last for very long. And I don't know if it was because they didn't really want to do it. I don't know if it was because they just felt like I was trying to control them. But I'm pretty sure at this big age that we are now, I'm pretty sure a lot of them understand what I was saying, what I was trying to say, and they see living proof of it. I know for a fact. Um, and I'm just speaking to anybody who has trouble um, controlling their anger languages, or having a tough time just keeping it all under wraps, because of the people you're around, because of the situations you might be in. It could even be work. You know what I'm saying? Just take a breather, literally. Um, some of the things that I've tried, I do go to dance classes. I mean, I walk, I take drives on the highway for anybody who has a vehicle. I don't know. Um, just take a long drive to yourself. You know what I mean? That's another anger language for me. I will literally get in my car and drive to whatever destination I feel like I want to drive to and drive back. Because that's my way of calming myself down. That's my way of getting back centered, but a lot of people don't understand that. They just feel like, oh, that's you doing too much. That's a waste of time. Okay, that's fine. Shit, I know people who take flights. I, would you rather me stay here or book a flight? Because that's scary for me. I don't think I don't think I would be able to handle that. To be with somebody who, when they get mad, they take a flight, they book a flight. I don't think I could do that because, baby, I'm coming with you. You could take your little break once we get there, but you're not taking this flight by yourself. Absolutely not. We're not doing that. This ain't that. It was never that. And we're not about to make it that. Okay? Okay. Cause I don't understand how people allow that to happen. But then it goes to say, like, do you really even care? Because how do you allow your spouse to take a whole trip without you because they got an attitude? I'll wait. Somebody answer that for me in the comments. I will never understand that. I will never understand it. To you people who choose to cheat as your frustration language, that's corny and that's a weak man's sport. Okay, because going back to transfer of energy, you are transferring all of this energy from yourself to your partner. So how are y'all ever gonna come to a good place? You know what I mean? Now, if you're a good liar, cool, all well and good, but it takes a lot to be a liar. It takes a whole lot to be a liar. Like, you really, really, really got to be very precise to be a liar. You have to really know and really remember everything that you've said. You get what I'm saying? So why choose to have that as a language? You know what I mean? Like cheating. I never understood that. I never understood it. I'm not gonna say I'm holier than thou. I'm sitting up here and I never cheated. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I have. Um, but it didn't feel good, and I actually explained that on a previous episode. I just wasn't fully disconnected from one connection, when I got in a relationship with someone else. And yeah, I just was very vulnerable. My partner at the time was in corrections, so she wasn't there, and I just basically made an excuse for my actions, and I had to pay for that. I can honestly say that was um, one of the best relationships that I was in. I can honestly say she taught me a lot, and um, I fucked that up. But I didn't fuck it up because it was a frustration. You understand what I'm saying? So understand it. Understand it. I didn't I didn't cheat because I was frustrated. You understand what I'm saying? I cheated because I really wasn't done emotionally with that other connection. You understand what I'm saying? So when I say cheating when you're frustrated, you know what I'm saying? Like that, I hate that saying when they say everybody got somebody on the back burner. Like somebody always got somebody on the side. I don't feel like that's true. Like, maybe in a sense, yes, because we all have people who desire us. We all have people who, if the chance was given, they would take it. You know what I'm saying? We all have those people. But I'm talking about just going out, meeting people, one night stand type of shit. That to me, that's that's weak. That's just a lousy excuse for you to be a hurtful human being. You know what I mean? For you to blatantly go out and just want to cheat on somebody because they made you mad. because you're frustrated. You get what I'm saying? But then as soon as it's done to you, it's the end of the world. Oh my God. You know, you're about to die. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it happen all the time. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not willing to connect with people in any situation, I'm not talking about romantic, I'm talking about in jobs too. You know, I feel like in jobs, managers, I feel like they don't give us the respect in that manner either. You know, I've had a situation with one of my managers actually just recently where I had to basically explain to him, you know, don't judge me off of what everyone else has been telling you. You make that judgment for yourself. You know what I mean? And I basically explained to him, you know, when I do get frustrated, I do get aggravated, I do get quiet, which is a frustration language for me. I tell him, you know, I don't want to argue with people, so I get quiet. That's my go to because I do have a reckless mouth. My mouth can get crazy, and I'm trying to control that. I'm trying to be calmer. I'm trying to, you know what I mean, actually listen to what someone has to say instead of just responding. You know what I mean? Or listening just to respond. I actually listen now. You know what I mean? And that was a frustration language for me too. Like just you know what I mean? But just recently I had to explain that to my manager because he felt like he could tell me about myself when he was only the manager for about 2 weeks at that time. And I've been working in the company for over a year, you know? So it was just like, I just felt like I needed to set that boundary with him to let him know, you know, no, I'm not an angry person about any of that. It's just when I get to a certain level and I feel like I am getting angry, I am going to get quiet. I will walk away because I don't want to be disrespectful. Is that can that be can that get a little sticky? Absolutely. Absolutely. It can definitely get messy, but as long as I'm willing to have those conversations and I felt like as long as I had that conversation with my manager, I feel like I'm good now, you know, and we have been good. You know what I mean? There hasn't been any other conversation about it or whatever. So I feel like if you need to have those conversations in your job too, you know what I mean? Have those conversations. I literally just seen a post where a woman said she asked her job, could she take a mental health day because, you know, of the passing of her mom. And they agreed to it. You know what I mean? That she felt like she was, you know, so uncomfortable in her spirit. You know what I mean? Not frustrated or not angry, but you know, sad. So let's just not say angry or frustration languages, sad languages. It can be all of that. You know what I mean? A depression language, all of that combines into what I'm talking about. You know, so just don't take the anger and frustration for, you know, my whole conversation here. Okay, we're talking about all of that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like I feel like if jobs did allow us or if jobs were more understanding like that woman's job and told her, you know what I mean, like we got you. You know what I mean? They said she had about 25 cases on her desk. They took everything from her and said, we got you. We don't see that. We don't see that every day. We don't see that every day at all. You know what I mean? I know I haven't. I literally had to request the day off for my dad and well, I didn't request the day off for my sister because I already had it off. But for my dad, I had to request that off. They wouldn't even let me get it off. You understand what I'm saying? Like I literally had to put in a PTO day for it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and it was just like cool. I'm appreciative that they allowed me to put the PTO day in, but it was just like, dang, like, okay, cool. So when I did read that yesterday, it was just like, wow, there are, you know what I mean, very compassionate people out here that understand that it's not easy to go in a job sometimes and have these thoughts, be depressed, be angry, you know what I mean, be frustrated or grieving, you know? So as long as you have people there that are going to understand you and that are going to tend to those to your needs, to those languages, I feel like the world would be a whole better place. I'm not saying kiss nobody ass. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. But that saying, treat people how you want to be treated, that saying really goes a long way, bro, in so many ways. So many. And yeah, you want people there at your highest moments. But baby, when I tell you it means more for people to be there at your lowest moments than it ever will at your highest moments. And if you don't believe me, and if you haven't gone through that journey yet, I'm going to pray for you before you even go through it, because it's not easy. Elevation takes a lot of isolation, um, a lot of uncomfortable conversations, you know what I mean, with people that you may have never thought would have done certain things to you, certain people you feel like who would understand you, who don't, and I say, if you're around people like that, then reevaluate your circle. Seriously. I'm not saying that everybody's bad. I'm not saying that. It's just sometimes we think the relationship that we're in, or the friend groups that we're in, or the job that we're in is the final destination. And sometimes that's just the beginning. And sometimes those situations trigger you to evolve you into the person that you're supposed to be. And sometimes it could keep happening. It could keep happening, because I felt that way. And I'm pretty sure I'm speaking to somebody. So if you're in this season where it's like you start something and then it drops, or something is going great and then it just fumbles, you know what I mean? And this constantly keeps happening. It's because you're not in your season. That's not where you're supposed to be. That man upstairs keeps redirecting you, because that's not what you're supposed to be doing. He's trying to clear your path and clear your mind. And sometimes he sits you down so that he can make you see where he's trying to take you. You know what I mean? Now, everybody is meant to work a 9 to 5. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes he will sabotage, or he will make it uncomfortable for you in these work environments, because you're meant to do something bigger. Maybe you are a part of a big team, you know what I mean? And the team completely turned their whole fucking back on you. You know what I mean? And everything you try, they just sabotage, sabotage, sabotage. It's because you're meant for something bigger, or maybe you're supposed to stand alone. You get what I'm saying? In a romantic relationship, you get what I'm saying? Maybe that relationship is just meant for you to grow within it, for them to add to you, for them to um, let you see your flaws, and vice versa, for you to let them see their flaws. You understand what I'm saying? So that both of y'all can grow. Again, it's the best version of yourselves, but that also comes with learning your sad, frustration, depression languages as well. Because if we don't understand those, then we're going to have a world full of miserable, unhappy, unloving fucking people. And I really feel like that's what I'm living in now. I'm really scared to date. People are very heartless. I have a heart of gold. I love love. I love very hard. I have an old soul. You know what I mean? And I'm not in the field of giving myself, my love, my genuine, authentic self to people who don't deserve it anymore. I'm really not. So, to anybody who feels that same way, stand on it. If you know these people don't deserve you, if you know that you're not being validated by the people who say they want to change with you, the people who say they want better for you, the people who say they want to see you win, you don't have reassurance from these people. And I'm not saying that they got to kiss your ass, but when you're in a certain friend group, come on. Bigging each other up is reassurance. Go, friend. You understand what I'm saying? But you also got to understand, when your friend gets frustrated, how you should handle them and how to not handle them. Just ignoring them is not going to solve anything. We've all had those moments where we get mad at our friend and we go on social media. Click, 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 click. That's not solving nothing. That's just adding more fuel to the fire. And I've been in that situation too, where I had to take accountability for, okay, Elijah, you went online and you said this, but I did say it to them too. but that's an excuse. You understand what I'm saying? Because Elijah, if you already attacked it, why are you going online and saying it online too? You know what I mean? So that was something that I had to learn. I had to learn my friends' frustration languages. One of my friends, whoa, bro, when he gets mad, he literally goes MIA. Like, and we will not talk for months sometimes. And that's just something that I had to get used to. And I used to feel some type of way like, well, damn, you're supposed to be my best friend. Like, and you, but I had to understand that that's how he regroups himself. You understand what I'm saying? Like, even though I still don't like it, I still don't like it. I still don't like it. I still be trying to, maneuver around that. But at one point, I had to just step back and be like, you know what, Bess? I'm gonna just let you have that. You understand what I'm saying? And that right there, I feel like puts a lot of relationships to the test of the bond that you guys have, because you don't have to talk every day. You don't have to be around each other every day to have that certain bond, to have that connection with your people, with your person, whoever. You don't. And I am very thankful of that. That, I can understand, certain friends' frustration levels or languages or how to deal with them when they are angry or just leave them alone. My own mother, shit, my daughter, because I have a teenager. My daughter's 17, and I have to learn her frustration languages. She gets quiet, or she gets a little soft spoken when she's a little sad or she's a little frustrated or something like that. So body language. You understand what I'm saying? Folding the hands, leaning back, facial expressions, this, the twerk of the lip. You know what I'm saying? Rolling the eyes. You understand what I'm saying? I feel like, no, I'm not saying be nosy, but pay attention more. I feel like as a people, we need to pay attention to ourselves, to our children, to our families, to our friends. We need to pay attention, because then we get these stories. We find out these stories where people kill themselves, or we find out people, are strung out on drugs, or they just literally just fall off the face of the earth because they don't have anybody there really to protect them, or really asking them these questions, or really tending to these feelings. You know what I mean? These languages. And like I said, everybody may feel like, oh, well, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. We all grown. We all grown. Okay. Okay. You say that now until it's you. Do you understand me? You say that now until it's you. Okay. It's not it's not cool to be on the other side of the fence. So if I'm resonating with anybody out there, if I'm resonating with somebody that feels like they don't have to tend to anybody's, frustration or anger languages, that's all well and good. That's all well and good. I'm not saying that you have to, but understand, if you want to be in people's lives, if you want those long lasting relationships, friendships, if you want to mend things with family, if you're trying to have, a life filled with love and light, you understand what I'm saying? You have to learn all of these things. You have to. I'm not saying you got to do it with everybody. Definitely be picky. Definitely be choosy. Definitely do that. But when you do find your people, when you do find your circle, learn them. Seriously, learn them, love on them, because it's a lot of people, it's a lot of things out here that are destroying us. It's a lot of things that are enabling us. You know what I mean? And not for nothing, a lot of things that's enabling us are our own people. I don't feel sorry for saying that. I'm not apologizing for saying that. It's actually a real thing. Like, it's so sad how a lot of, us are holding each other back, by instead of trying to understand one another, we just want to hate one another and sabotage one another and create lies and gang stalk people and, create wars, what I mean, within yourself, within other people, you know what I mean? And it's just like, nah, nah. I come up here to speak life into people, into a community, to my community, you know, LGBT, the African American community, Patterson. I speak life. I do it every day, even when I'm not, even when I'm not speaking up here. I speak life into the people that come into my surroundings. You know what I mean? And I'm very thankful for that. I'm really grateful that I'm able to have gotten myself out of that dark place that I was in, and I'm able to be a light for other people that I see that are going through the same things that I was going through, and not necessarily judge them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not to judge, it's just to let them know, like, I understand, but to for you to grow, you got to get yourself out of that situation. And I feel like when I do that, um, people do feel judged a little bit, because it is people that we've chilled around, or that we've necessarily grew up around. And like I said, nobody wants to know, or nobody wants to um come to the realization that the people closest to them are the people that are enabling them, or the person that you lay next to every night, the person that you make love to, you know is the one that's really bad for you. Or to wake up one day and notice that you are the problem, or notice that you are the one that's being neglectful. You're the one that's not giving the reassurance. You're the one that's not protecting your friendships, protecting your relationships, protecting, you know what I mean, anything. It's all self-reflection, but it also takes the right people around you. We always hear about, the right circle, the right circle. That shit is a real thing. It is a real thing, and it is a forever like cycle. Because I'm a spontaneous person. I'm a very friendly person. Well, not too friendly no more, but I love having conversation. I love people. Um, I love positive conversations. Um, I love to laugh. I love to just make people smile. I love it. So getting to know people on all types of levels has never been an issue for me. But then I've noticed I created a lot of trauma bonds from that too, because even though my intentions were good, and I was trying to get a better understanding of these people. Um, Sometimes people will tell you a story just to reel you into their bullshit. Okay. And I don't even got to go into that. That's pretty self-explanatory. And I already know majority of the world don't went through that. So just be careful, and just love on people that love on you, but pay attention. Seriously. And in all honesty, like, pay attention. Pay attention to everything, including yourself first, because you can't check other people if you're not checking yourself. Okay, if you're not taking care of you first, there's no way. And I'm sick and tired of everybody talking about, oh well, I took care of. Okay, well, that was your choice. You wanted to take care of this person. You chose to put everything on the back burner to do what you need to do for this person. You did that. You. And no, I'm not saying you need to regret it, because at the end of the day, clearly your intentions were very pure and you followed through. But in the long run, you can't then say, you know, they're the reason why. You can't do that. You can't, because you got to take care of you first. Because yeah, another person gonna let you do it. They're gonna let you do it. Absolutely. There are some people out here that will let you fucking do shit. Just let you do it. Yep. You want to do it? Go ahead. But if you're not taking care of you first, and if you're not taking care of you first, you're gonna get lost every single time. So every time you come up out of those situations, you're never gonna know how to bounce back. You know what I mean? And I'm really an advocate here for mental health healing, for bouncing back. You know what I mean? Seriously. This is no gimmicks, this is no nothing. Like literally I come up here and I literally tell you guys the nitty gritty, the truth. How I speak is literally how I speak on a day-to-day basis. And I'm literally just telling you guys and getting you guys to a point where you don't have to look at videos. You know what I mean? You don't have to refer to a YouTube video or you know what I mean, a podcast to understand what you need to do or how to go about it. But if this is what you need to do, I'm thankful that I can be the vessel for you and for anybody that's watching so that you can understand, you can make it out of anything. You can make it out of whatever. It just takes the right mindset, discipline, okay? And just focusing on you. Isolation, okay? I say that a lot, but it's the truth, okay? I've never in my life felt so isolated, but I do that on purpose now, because I am still in the healing phase where I do want to stay this calmness that I've gotten. I want to stay there. Like I really want to stay there, and I have been, and I am very proud of myself. Like for real, for real. So I don't need to explain my frustration or my sad or depression languages to anybody because I don't have those issues. So that's another way to nip that in the bud. You know what I mean? Just stay single. This world is fucking crazy any damn way. No, but I'm definitely not trying to stay single. I'm just saying though, you know what I mean? It definitely helps with the journey. You know what I mean? Not having those, minor distractions in the way. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, just take the time to learn your people and completely learn them all the way around, not just the highs of them. Be invested in the lows too, because they can be very rewarding as well, and they can teach you things along the way that you probably never even knew about yourself. For real, for real. So yeah, I hope that resonated with someone. I hope I was able to clear some things up for the people who may not have understood that there was a such thing as frustration or aggravation languages. You know what I mean? And who don't understand that that's something that somebody needs to pay attention to. That is something that needs to be validated. Period. I'm not saying kiss anybody's ass again. I'm not saying that. But if you want something longevity, if you want these relationships, if you want these friendships, certain things you have to validate. You have to, give reassurance of. Period. Period. As always, like, subscribe, share, comment. This has been episode 21. You already know we got into frustration, anger, sad, depression languages and how to go about them, what they can be, and, just ways to heal through them. And if I, again, resonate with anybody, I love you guys. Keep on that healing journey. Like I said, here at Tatted Beauty Podcast, we turn trauma into beauty, one fuck up at a time, one lesson at a time. Okay? Nobody is perfect. I'm not sitting up here perfect. I'm still on a healing journey. I'm still finding myself every single day. And I love the woman that I'm finding every day I wake up. Okay? And I just want every man and woman out there to feel the same way. Seriously. Okay? I'm for real, y'all. Like, okay? Look in that mirror and let them know. Okay? You guys know I always leave you with some words of encouragement. And if I had to leave you guys with anything, okay, anything, I'm going to say, continue on your healing journey the way that you need to. Nobody can tell you how to heal. Nobody can tell you how long it should take for you to heal, okay? But when you do heal and you come up out of there, don't you ever go back. Do you understand me? Ever. I'm serious, okay? You already know. It's your favorite Tatted Beauty, Alasia, on the Tatted Beauty Podcast. This has been anger and frustration languages. I'll see you guys next time.